Never seen a lame man walk. Never heard a dumb man talk. Never seen a blind man see. I promise you will change his name. Never seen a cancer dead. Never seen all the poor get fed. Never seen a prisoner set free. I promise you will change his name. Broken heart made whole. Never seen an orphan find a home. Never seen the weak find the strength. I promise you will change his name. Never seen the sick get healed. Never seen a mystery revealed. Never seen a death man raised. I promise you will change his name.
What's up, everybody? It's Bigger T on the Big C and Bigger T podcast, episode number 155, I believe, of doing this thing with my boy, Big C, Clint Clark. How you doing, buddy?
Man, I am great. We are recording this, I believe, what is this, the 5th of June?
Sure it is.
It's June the 5th, and it is my second, well, technically it's my third, second 8th anniversary with Anna.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, because we had a ceremony, we got married, and then we did we went and actually got married.
Yeah.
Because you messed up the first one, I had to get Branson to officiate this one.
Yeah, I understand. Yeah. I blew that first one.
Had nothing to do with the fact that I was immature and a horrible husband, but
it was all my fault. I'll take it.
We're going to go ahead and blame you. We'll blame you and her. No, I think I've done a good job of owning what I did wrong there. But
I'm 0 for 2 on Mount Nebo weddings.
Oh man,
yours and Joey's both were on Mount Nebo, and
and what was funny about that was we got married on Lake Dardanelle.
Yeah,
we actually got married, and we did a big ceremony and had everybody out in June, and that's what's today. I think our actual anniversary like March 26th or 28th. We can't remember. It's either the 26th. We can't ever remember.
Whichever one she wants you to remember. That's what's important.
Exactly, 100%. So we had to turn face away where nuclear one wouldn't be in the background. And what was great about that was Robert's like, "Hey man, we're gonna do a quick wedding down here," and he's down there getting everybody off the pier. And one guy goes, "I ain't leaving. I'm fishing." One guy just like, and I didn't care. I would have just done it around everybody, and they wanted to be around. Like, you know me, I'm like, because I'm not terribly introverted. Because I thought about when I proposed to Anna, we had a trip to Vegas, and I was going to do it in front of the Bellagio fountain. And then I'm like, okay, that's good for me because I like everybody looking at me. Yeah. That's why I have a podcast, professional wrestle, all that. That I enjoy being out there and being attention. She is the opposite.
Yeah,
she's like, okay, I'm going to be in the background and stuff like. Yeah, that'd be a nightmare to her. I can't do that to her.
Yeah.
So anyway, So
well, I don't know if I ever told you, but in Joey's wedding, we were up on Mount Nebo, and you did yours inside that building or whatever.
Yeah.
Your first one or whatever. And so Joey did his on that rock like patio outside.
Yes, right outside.
We were standing with the view of like the Arkansas River behind us and everything, so it's kind of picturesque and everything. And so I'm standing there and I'm standing there, and then Joey and his groomsmen or whatever. And then here comes the bridesmaids. And as they're coming, I think it was they're coming down, Greg Montgomery was playing saxophone. And as they're coming down, a hang glider is like it released on the other side of the mountain and is coming around the mountain. And it's like he's banking. So like, like his body, like he's facing us, like the hang glider's like almost going with the, parallel to the mountain almost. So it's like just him, like looking at all these people are sitting there looking at him. And Joey kind of whispers to me, that cost me a lot of money to do that. Of course, it was just a random deal. The hang glider come by.
Yeah, no.
It was funny.
if he would have crashed, I think that would have been
Oh, that would have been even sad but funny.
That'd been a metaphor for the wedding.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Going up the mountain, and
Yeah.
I listened.
Yeah.
But no, it's all good. So Anna, I know you're not going to listen to this,
Nah,
but you hear me jibber jabber enough. But happy second 8th anniversary.
Yeah, happy anniversary.
So Travis, the older I've got,
Mm-hmm.
there's stuff that I pay for now that I never thought I'd pay for as a kid.
Uh-oh.
Because me and you've talked about this. Like I go bougie on hot dogs now.
Yeah.
I it's Nathan's. I know which one's are you a ballpark guy? Or are you a Hebrew?
I'm normally ballpark or but I'll go Nathan's too. Yeah.
See, Nathan's is by far my favorite. That's if I'm buying for myself, I'm buying Nathan's.
To be honest with you, I don't eat hot dogs very much anymore. So
yeah,
it's kind of a
and if I do, it's definitely because back in the day, like get those 99-cent bar S and just throw them out there, and we were happy.
Yeah.
Now you give me a bar S, I'd be like, why are you giving me the dog's food?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
So with that, bologna, I only buy Petty G now.
Oh yeah,
yeah. I mean, like bougie. But one of the things, if you had ever told me I'd be paying a monthly subscription for radio, I would have told you were on crack cocaine.
Yeah.
And I don't pay a monthly subscription for satellite radio. I pay 2 of them. So one of the stations is called, and I've been listening to it because it's just bang. I mean, it's one of the stations they play banger after banger after banger. Like they may play 10 songs where you be like, you know what? No, I'm good. Which is a good run for any radio station.
Oh yeah.
But so they did the top 66 road trip songs of all time.
Yeah.
Now I would not have had I wouldn't have any of these in my personal top 3. Yeah. I can't remember all of them, but like the top 3, I wanted to get your thoughts on. I haven't told you these. So coming in at number 3 was Radar Love.
That's a good one. It's one of those. I mean, it wouldn't be one of my top 3 either, but it's one of those that if you're in the car, you crank it up. I don't know.
I mean, I would sing along. I'd listen to it if somebody else playing it, but I would probably change the station. It's a good song. It's not. Yeah. It's not an immediately like, oh, this is Now number 2, this one I don't know if I had it in my top 3, but it'd been on my list somewhere because it is it's a road trip anthem. On the Road Again by Uncle Willie.
Oh yeah.
On the road again.
Just can't wait to get on
the road again. So
there's that. I was making music with my friends.
Now I think to me, my number 1, if you're talking about just road trip song, I would probably Against the Wind by Bob Seger. I think probably would have.
Yeah, that'd be up there. Yeah.
That would have probably been my number 1, and just it is not like I wouldn't say it's one of my favorite songs. If you're talking about like road trip songs, that would be it for me. Running on Empty by Jackson Browne.
That was number 1.
That was number 1.
Yeah, I don't think that.
It's a good. Like I mean, to me, I'd rather listen to the Load Out Stay.
Yeah.
Than Running on Empty. I mean, to me, that's how they play the Load Out and immediately go into Stay. To me, that's a better road trip song.
Yeah.
I mean, just even by Jackson Browne, but that was their top 3, and I was like, because I had to pick Calling Up from Work last night, and so they were playing like the top. I listened like to the last 7 or 8.
Yeah.
And I was like, and then it's like, okay, you get to like, I want to see what number 1 is.
This ain't something I've thought about, but I would think for a more recent one, Life is a Highway would have to be a road trip song. I mean, the old version. I'd want the 90s version, not the Rascal Flatts version.
By Tom Cochran, isn't it?
I think so. I can't remember for sure.
This one, Mr. Brightside was up there high on the list.
Yeah.
Living on a Prayer by Bon Jovi. Yeah. Highway to Hell by AC/DC was on the list. I mean, I'm just saying it was the list was good. It was.
I went to physical therapy today, and the lady behind the counter was wearing an AC/DC Back in Black shirt. I was like, I'm at the right place. But I'll tell you another one of our favorite road trip songs back in the day, Take It Easy by the Eagles.
I love it.
Running down the road trying to loosen my load. I got 7 women on my mind. That's a good road tripping
My,
right
my
there.
wife got a picture of me standing on a corner in Winslow,
So,
Arizona.
that's right.
That was such a fun sight to see.
And I
Uh,
love that they have a flatbed Ford there.
yeah, I think I stopped at 8 at a Denny's in Winslow, Arizona, coming back from Vegas.
Really?
Because, dude, I'm to the point, like, you know, I guess we can let everybody in on the holy shnikes moment of the week is that I'm kind of a grandpa now.
Yeah. Yeah.
So there is that. So Anna's daughter, Elaine, my stepdaughter, had a grandbaby.
Yeah.
So Anna's up there, and this is, I mean, I'm telling the story not so y'all can all make fun of me and call me grandpa, but to tell you why I fly. I try not to fly anymore. I would rather get in my car and drive for 20 hours than deal with the airport because she gets there. She gets to the airport at, let's see, doing the math here. She gets there about 7 in the morning.
Yeah.
That flight delayed, misses her connection.
Mm.
So she's basically stuck in Chicago till 8 p.m. So we got about an 8-hour layover to get to Minnesota so she can drive. That's why I'm like, I would rather just drive.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's I would rather just that's how much I hate flying now. And so Satellite Radio has made the road trip a little bit better because you ain't got to sit there. I think better innovation for road trips, GPS or satellite radio.
Oh yeah, satellite radio. Well, GPS is up there. That's
GPS is up there.
Yeah, because that I don't know. People couldn't use a map nowadays anyway.
Well, back in the day, we went to where? Wooster, Ohio. Took that trip to Ohio.
Yeah.
How me and you figured our ways around anywhere.
Yeah. That was crazy. Yeah.
That was crazy. Like we were too young to realize how dumb we were.
Yeah. It was fun though. It was fun.
Yeah, it was a blast. That was one of them case youth was wasted on the young when it comes to us because we've grown up and we're only slightly immature now.
Yeah, that's right.
But anyway, Travis, I'm sorry I've taken up.
No, man, that's great. Yeah, I was just thinking of more road trip songs. Black Betty would be a good road trip.
That is another.
And it comes on the radio. And this one ain't as fast, but you mentioned Bob Seger, and it comes on. It seems to come on. I have satellite radio also, and it seems to come on like 70s radio a lot and stuff. Is "Turn the Page" by Bob Seger.
Yeah, I even like Metallica's version of that too.
I do too. I still like Bob Seger's better, just because my mom was a huge Bob Seger fan. She played it, but yeah, Metallica's does an awesome version of it for sure.
So, see, to me, okay, better. This is, of course, we're chasing rabbits here, but I'm going to ask you this question. Now, better road trip artist, Bob Seger or Jackson Browne?
Mine would be Bob Seger, just because I've listened to Bob Seger more.
I would agree with you. Okay, this one's going to be a tougher one.
Okay,
Bob Seger or the Eagles?
Eagles.
See, and then
I mean, Clint, for me, if I'm going to just take an album from one artist or one band or whatever, my top 3 would be Eagles. Not in this order, probably. Hootie and the Blowfish, Cracked Rear View, and Creedence Clearwater Revival Chronicles.
No, that
you can put any of those 3 albums on. I'm gonna sing every song, every word to every song with them. It's gonna keep me awake because I'm gonna be singing along, and I don't care if I'm in traffic and people see me singing. It doesn't matter because I'm trying to stay awake.
See, and I would say if you're talking to me, of course, Eagles would be on the list. I think that would be a band that me and you both have. But AC/DC would be on that list where I just want to put something on by AC/DC and just let it play.
Yeah.
Somebody once asked Angus Young, they go, "How's it feel saying that they say that you made 6 albums that sound exactly alike?" He goes, "That's ridiculous. We've made 8 albums that sound exactly alike." So,
that's good.
AC/DC, Weezer would be on that list.
Weezer's good.
Because I got Alexas all over the house. I'll just be like, "Alexa, play Weezer.
Yeah.
Alexa, play Eric Church. Alexa, play Bare Naked Ladies."
Yeah.
Those are some of the ones that George Strait.
Yeah.
There's so many good artists that you consider, great.
And if you can find him, Garth.
Yeah. Yeah. So anyway.
All right.
definitely. Hey, y'all chime in. Tell us some of your favorite road trip
That's
artists.
right. Tell us your road trip songs. We want to know road trip
And
artists,
we
road trip songs.
like, share, and subscribe.
That's right. Now, another thing, Clint, kind of a holy shnikes or just something I want to acknowledge. I think a guy that you and I both probably watched as and probably would say is one of the greatest of all time in our lifetime, passed away this week. That's Larry Allen, former Cowboy. Even folks that weren't Cowboy fans appreciate. I mean, he had size and speed. Came from a small school, Samoa State, but played on one of the best offensive lines to ever do it. Him and Eric Williams next to each other when he was at right guard, and Eric Williams was at right tackle, and
Stepnoski was the center, and Nate Noon was the other one. Who was the
he
left
got there. He left tackle was Mark Tuinei.
Okay, yeah.
And he got there a little later. He was there a little later, but I think he got there in '94 or something like that. But still, he plugged the gap, and blocked for Aikman, and then blocked for Romo whenever he came in, and so strong as a freaking ox,
Yeah.
one. But and everybody said was a great teammate and a great guy. People, I think Dan Campbell started his press conference the other day just talking about how great of a guy he was. He played with him when he was a tight end for the Cowboys, for 3 years, I think. And
yeah.
So just want to, that was a sad deal. He's only 52 years old. That used to sound ancient, and now that's just 4 years older than us, man.
Yeah. Well, 5 years for me. I'm still young.
Yeah, that's right. 4 years for me.
I might be a grandpa, but I'm not old like you.
That's right.
So, no, I'd always said to me, Emmitt Smith is one of the most underrated, overrated football players ever to play football. It's not because Emmitt Smith's not a Hall of Famer. His vision was phenomenal.
Yeah.
When you were running behind that offensive line, crap, man. Then you had Moose in front of you.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, and then like Campbell and Jay Novacek and, had those guys blocking for you. And Michael Irvin was a blocker too, man. I mean, for a receiver, he wasn't afraid to get his hands dirty and go down and block. And so, I mean, Emmitt Smith, you're right. But Emmitt Smith was consistent, man.
He was consistent, and I don't want to hate on him. I've just always thought,
but you're right. I mean, if Barry Sanders, the question was, especially when we were in the '90s, the question was, if Barry Sanders had that line, what would Barry Sanders be doing? And the truth is, anybody, this is solid running back, if they had that line, man, because those guys were solid, man. They were. Eric Williams was a freaking beast at right tackle. He was him and Larry Allen next to each other, man. All they had to do was just say, go. And they were just mowing people over, 10 yards down the field.
Yeah, but there's nothing more fun as an offensive lineman to be like, hear them call the play and know that the goal is to run it right behind you. You're like,
that's
all right.
Yeah.
He's putting the faith in me to clear this hole, so I'm going to clear this hole.
And what made Larry Allen different was he wasn't much slower than Emmitt Smith. Emmitt Smith wasn't that fast, really, but he was athletic.
Who's the fastest fat boy you ever remember?
I don't know.
Jumbo, the fastest fat boy ever.
Yeah.
He was.
I wasn't around him quite as much at athletic stuff as you.
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, listen, because we went over this. If I was racing a pregnant woman, I'd come in third place. It is the way it is. I'm slow.
Now, Hayden Hendricks was fast, straight line. Now, if you had him, he wasn't as agile as like a Jumbo was or somebody, but he was like, in fact, Hayden, when he was at Arkansas State, played on the kickoff team, 320 pounds on the kickoff team. He did that. He played at LSU on the kickoff team. He said that was the most hyped he's ever was in his life. He said he lined up on the kickoff team. But anyway, all right, Clint. Well, I guess we get started off with the bad news. The sadness, the disappointment. But let's spin it and let's talk about the good about it. I guess. Well, what good? Well, first of all, the baseball team, right? why are they at home right now? Why did they not get out of the regional? What did you see?
Well, everyone, this seems like the most popular thing is to fire Thompson.
Yeah.
They didn't hit that bad in the regionals. They
Yeah.
really didn't. It was like the pitching just wore out. Hagen Smith gave up 6 runs in like 3 or 4 innings. It just was not. He didn't have a Hagen Smith type outing.
And and here's Clint, and this is something that I think me and you can speak on because of some of the interviews we did. I wonder how much of that had to do with the inconsistency at catcher. Now, most people would say, well, that's stupid, Travis. Why? What would the catcher have to do with how the pitchers are doing? Well, we've interviewed catchers on here. We've interviewed Parker Rowland. We've interviewed Michael Turner. And they tell us that over 90% of the game, they call themselves without any influence from the pitching coach or anybody. And, we were having to piece together our catchers because White was a good hitter, so they wanted him in the game. But he was hurting us defensively some. Parker Rowland seemed to be the better defensive catcher, but his bat wasn't all that good. And then the guy from Texas Tech, I forget his name, really wasn't, it wasn't batting that great either. He seemed to be in there more when Molina and some of them because he was, he'd already played with him before, but but part of me, I asked that question, but part of the answer, though, Clint, was when I think about it, though, we were having a hard time just throwing strikes. I mean, a lot of those people got on base because of walks, and so part of that may be just the pitchers wore out. I don't know. I don't know what it was.
And that's kind of, and you took the words right out of my mouth. I just think fatigue got to them, and it just, unfortunately, this is the result. You were hoping what happened at Birmingham was aberration, and it turned out to be a real issue. It's over, done with. I mean, you were a top 5 team. Dave Van Horner still remains the greatest college baseball coach, probably to never win a national title.
Before we get to that, Clint, I want to go back. Let's talk about the hitting. Now, look, I am not in no way saying fire Thompson. Okay. I'm not in any way, because here's the deal. I trust Dave Van Horn, and some people are saying fire Dave Van Horn right now. Okay.
People are idiots.
Yeah, they are idiots. But who are they wanting to replace him? The 2 top guys they talk about are 2 of his former assistants, 2 guys that he trained. Okay. Valero and the guy from Georgia. Okay. So when we got the real thing, why do we want the ones? Okay. See what I'm saying? So I'm no way saying that, but that being said, Clint, if you're a D1 baseball player, let's say you're the leadoff hitter for a top 5 team in the nation, you get up to bat and the other team puts a shift on you every time you get up to bat, and you cannot hit a wide open left side, opposite side of the field as a D1 hitter. You cannot get a ball, even on a guy that's throwing a 64 mile per hour breaking pitch. If there's anything you can do, you can hesitate on a breaking pitch and poke it the other way. They're tailor-made for that. Okay. That's what frustrates me, Clint, because what that tells me, and here's what I'm saying. When we interviewed Michael Turner, we asked him about how he went from Kent State to Arkansas, right? And we talked about how he got better going against better talent. His numbers went up at Arkansas, and he was going against better pitchers and better defenses every game. And his batting average, his home run hits, everything went up. And so we talked to him about that, and he said, you can be as good as you want to at Arkansas. They give you all the resources. you want. Okay. So what that tells me is that hitter, and our leadoff hitter is not the only one. There's others that they did the shift on, right? And there's MLB players that they do that to, right?
Yeah.
But that tells me that that guy gets out there and only works on home runs. He only works on his strength. It's like the guy wanting to be Steph Curry and all he works on is shooting threes. Okay. And that's just frustrating to me, because for me, if look, if it's me, I would be embarrassed to see three guys standing in between first and second and I'm hitting to them every time. Wouldn't you? I mean,
No,
wouldn't
I
that
would be. I mean, you figure at least lay it down. Now, let me ask you, because I believe in the major leagues. If I'm not mistaken, I don't know if they did it. They're talking about outlawing the shift.
And they're talking about it in college.
What are your thoughts on that?
I think it's stupid, because if a guy is not willing, if a guy's not willing to work on it and to get to where he can push it the other way, look, they don't do the shift on Judge. They don't do the shift on Judge.
I mean, you don't catch them. You wouldn't catch them doing the shift on Albert Pujols. I mean,
right.
Your great ones. No, you've got.
Hey, if that 64-mile-per-hour curveball and they were shifting on a leadoff hitter, Wade Boggs would say, "Hold my beer, let me out there."
Yeah.
Of course, he's one of the greatest to do it of all time. So that's
no. I'm saying that the great ones. It's just you hope they can learn from this and grow from it. I mean, all of them. Obviously, the team's going to look a lot different next year. I mean, you're going to have. I mean, you should have Gage Wood coming back, Gackle. You're obviously.
Please understand, I love Peyton Stovall. I love him. He's been a great Hog. I root for him. I root for him in the future. But to me, that's one of the frustrating things. We get people on base, they do the shift, and we can't get them around. And all it would take is just lay a bunt down the third baseline, slap it over there, do something, man. Do something, get it over to that side of the field, and you can push runners around. But we could not. What do we score, like 5 out of 31 runners when we had runners on base? Like, we brought home 5 runs when we had runners on base in the regional or something like that. I mean, or when the last few games or something like that. Like, it was terrible numbers. Yeah. And that's been our problem. We were doing better at it at the middle of the year. And I would talk about on here. I was impressed because we would do, we would take walks, we would do those kind of things. And I don't know. That was frustrating. But like you said, look, I still trust Dave Van Horn. And Clint
obviously he doesn't have the national championships that Nick Saban has. If he would, different conversation. But people all the time were complaining about Nick Saban, about how the game's passed him by and blah blah. There'd be Alabama fans, and you're like, dude, fire him. Let him come to Arkansas. You know what I'm saying? If we terminated Dave Van Horn, he'd be unemployed about as long as he wanted to be unemployed.
Well, it's like the people in Kentucky wanting Calipari gone.
Yeah.
Even though he's got a championship, but still, I mean, he's one of the best in college basketball. Dave Van Horn look, y'all, he's one of the best in college baseball.
I was sitting here wondering, like, is he going to nail this segue? He brought up Calipari. Is he going to nail the segue? Like, is he going to come on?
Well, I do want to say one thing though before I hit the segue. Let's remember, folks, we're going into a football season where there's some people thinking we'll be lucky to win 4 games, and there's other people thinking we might win 6 or 7. Okay, that's the best we're looking at for this year. That's the most hope we have. We're going into a basketball season where we got a lot of hope in it. Okay. But still, we're like, man, if we can at least get back to the Sweet 16, right? We're going to go into baseball season next year with a real chance to be one of the top 10 teams in the nation.
No, as long as Dave Van Horn's there, you're in the conversation for national title.
We're able to do that every year. And that's one of the things I love about being a Yankees fan, because every other sport I'm a fan in, the Browns, I don't have that hope every year. The Razorbacks, not in every sport. Okay. But with the Yankees, I know, some people are like, because they have all that money. Well, at least they spend their money to better their team every year. And with Dave Van Horn, he's going to do his best to put out the best team he can. And they're going to compete every year. So, but like I said, us getting rid of him would be like Kentucky saying we want to get rid of Calipari. And now we have Calipari, and Calipari just added another player to the team.
So Calipari says, he's like, all right, I'm going to keep my roster around 9.
Mm.
So you're sitting out there and you're like, okay, who's going to be the 9th guy? DJ Wagner officially say he inked with the Hawg. So you've got 8. You've got yourself 8. He wants 1 more. And you know what? And I think he got the best guy in the transfer portal. And I think he'll be better under Calipari. I think he's going to develop a little bit more under Calipari. Trayvon Brazile.
That's
yes.
Right.
That Trayvon Brazile.
That's right.
He I don't know if you can say he withdrew from the NBA draft.
Yep.
And I guess decided that the portal he was in the portal.
Mm-hmm.
Which can you blame him for being in the portal?
No.
Arkansas just hired a new basketball coach. You don't know if you fit in. You get in the portal. You won't hear from everybody.
Well, he went into the portal before they hired a new coach, I think.
Yeah.
If I remember
but yeah, either way, he was in it.
Yeah.
And even before or after, it wouldn't really mattered to me because, like, okay, it's going to be a new guy. I want to hear everybody out. I don't think there was a better player in the transfer portal than
and one of the needs, everyone said the need, what Cal was looking at was a versatile big guy, a guy that could play anywhere from 3 to 5, the 3 to 5 spot if you needed him to, because you got a couple fives on the team. You got like a strong 4, but you need, they kind of wanted somebody, and that's Brazile. Okay.
Yeah. Well, Brazile though, last year, I think he was kind of looked at like, okay, he's got to carry the team.
Yeah.
He's got to, and you had Mark and you had some guys that you thought were scorers. This year, like, okay, no, this team's loaded with our top 5-star, high 4-star talent. I mean,
last year he was coming off a serious injury. Okay. And so he was probably tentative there. And then all the distractions and, kind of from what we've heard, Musselman wasn't zoned in. The rest of the team wasn't zoned in. They were all off in their own world. So when he did start playing toward the end of the year, he didn't look like himself. Okay. But let's remember who he was. Okay. He came to us from Missouri. Very promising had a promising freshman year, got quite a bit of playing time, but, wasn't a stud there, but was showing stud potential. Came in, was showing great potential at the beginning, got hurt. Going into last year, he was preseason. They were talking about him being a lottery pick in the NBA draft, Clint. That's the guy that we just signed. Yeah. Now, if Cal can get him back he's got the ability to be that guy. If new coaching and new situation and being with the new teammates, he's going to be the only returning Razorback besides the walk-on kid. He's got a chance to have an awesome year if he comes in motivated. It's going to be up to him.
Yeah.
Come in motivated, but I like bringing him back. I like having him.
Well, I mean,
to try to want to be a leader, and I think Cal can, help him be that.
Well, was there anybody on the team more talented than him last year?
No,
it's pure talent. Yeah.
Yeah.
I keep saying Trayvon Mark, maybe, but this year he's not the most talented player on this team.
No,
not not by a long shot. I don't know if he's in the top, but man, I mean, that's a good, solid piece that you've had. It's 9 strong. And I did read that bringing him back in the fold took us from like rank number 16, 17 to people having us about number 9.
Yeah.
So you got to think about that. In the tournament, they're saying you're a 3 seed.
Yeah.
Which would be a sweet 16 top team.
Yeah.
And then I think if you're in the top 10, you got a shot at it.
Yeah.
But they did say, I said they have us as the second best team in the SEC behind Alabama.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
And if I'm telling you, Nate Oates could win a national championship in Alabama, and they'd be like, that's really cool. Spring practice starts in 2 weeks.
That's right. Yeah.
That's neat. Good for you.
Yeah. No,
Alabama,
it's exciting to hear. And I think, you know, and you're hopeful, like I said, that Marks comes in mentally, you know, that the injury's not going to hold him back, that he feels confident in his leg. I don't know if that was what caused him. I don't know if all the other tension and drama and all the other stuff got in his way. I mean, he played, you know, him and Devo both at the end of the year last year wasn't, you know, they were good solid defensive players, but they didn't show it at the end of the year last year. And that's where I saw that they weren't into it. You know, Devo was letting people drive by him. Brazil used to love to play help defense. He'd come over the top and block shots, you know, helping people once they drove to the lane. He was doing a best Connor Vanover impression and just standing out by the 3-point line and watching people. So I think if he gets back to the, you know, that gets that dog back in him, you know, that you want a player to have, he's got like you said, he's got the talent to do something special, and the mix with the other talent that's on the team, you know. And I think, I don't know. I hope Cal doesn't put too much pressure on him, you know, because he's going to be the only, you know, like I said, the only returning Hawg. Now, word is they're going to try to add some other players.
Over the rest of the guys is that he knows Fayetteville.
Yeah.
You know, he knows the other guys probably have a better relationship with Coach Cal than he.
Yep.
And a lot of them guys have already played together at Kentucky.
Yeah.
So I mean, I don't think I don't think the pressure, the pressure on him won't be on court. It'll be like, hey man, let me show you where Slim's Chickens is. Let me show you where Cane's is. Let me show you where Rochester is.
It sounds like that Cal's going to put pressure on people like Wagner, guys that played for him last year. You know, Big Z. Guys like that know his system, that he knows, and that he trusts on the court. You know, those are the guys he's gonna lean on. So, yeah, good deal. They say Cal's gonna probably go after a couple other guys that he'll use scholarships for, but they probably won't get NIL money. That's the way, you know, that's the big talk now. You know, they're kind of
they're basically glorified walk-ons.
They're glorified walk-ons. You know, they're talking about the walk-on systems maybe on its way out the door, because what they're going to end up doing is they're going to have the guys that are paid, and then everybody else is going to be just, you know, just scholarship, and that's it. But they say that he'll probably, you know, from what I've heard, people talking that, and I think it was on Trey Biddy's podcast today, that they were talking about maybe one other, like another big guy that's, you know, can kind of fill in, and then one other guard, you know, that they can have just as a backup, you know, to fill some minutes in those positions. But anyway, it's a the roster's looking good, man, and basketball, you know, we'll see what Cal can do.
No, I'm super excited about basketball season. I think we're going to have a good team. They're playing. They're going to Madison Square Garden this year
against Michigan. Yep.
You know,
the Juwan Howard-less Michigan team. I don't know. I forget who they got as a coach now, but
the guy I think from Louisville was. No, not from Louisville. Where was he?
Sure.
Oh, the guy from Florida Atlantic.
Okay.
So you know, one of our transfers.
Yeah.
Played here. So
Now, the other talk in here's something that's been out there in football. Okay, and we've talked
I
about
think
this a little bit, but one of the things that's out there is people are talking on message boards and stuff like that about if the Razorback football team doesn't have a vastly improved season, is this Sam Pittman's last year? Is the writing on the wall that they brought in Petrino to just slide him into that position? What do you think?
no. I mean, but Petrino's as a head coach has been fired in his last two stops for losing.
Yeah.
Petrino's got just as much to lose as it is. I guess it is the most Southern thing in the world to look at and go, oh, the good old days.
Yeah.
Listen, it is not that time anymore. This is not that Bobby Petrino anymore.
Yeah.
This is a Bobby Petrino that needs his imitation, his reputation fixed.
Yeah.
Now, this is his shot because I think Pittman is letting him run his offense.
Yeah.
He is letting him run his offense. He's like, go get the quarterback. He went and got the quarterback he wanted. He is letting Petrino run the offense Petrino wants to run. He doesn't have a head coach meddling.
Yeah.
Because Petrino got Bailey, him and Jimbo got fired last year at A&M, and he wasn't retained. So Petrino's been fired at his last three stops.
That's right.
And Sam Pittman is one of the most respected coaches in NCAA football.
Yeah.
He is. So you've got a guy that's very universally respected. And, I think Petrino needs him just as much as Pittman needs him. They need each other.
Yeah.
And it's in their best interest if it works. Yeah. Because if the defense wasn't the problem last year.
Yeah.
So for Petrino to look good, Pittman has to look good and vice versa.
Yeah.
So hopefully it's a good marriage. And I think that's just fans trying to stir stuff up on message boards. I know everybody likes to see it. Now,
I think a lot of it's like you said, it's people forget. Well, and here's the other thing, like you mentioned, and we've said it before on here. He's been fired from his last three positions. Okay. But also look at his history as a coach. He doesn't last very long anywhere he goes. He wears out his welcome very quickly. He strikes quickly. He does well, just like he did at Arkansas. But I promise you, it wouldn't have dropped as quickly as it did, but Arkansas would have hit bottom and he probably would have got fired here for losing games, if the motorcycle deal hadn't happened.
Yeah.
Because the recruiting, that was one of the reasons that we dropped so bad. The motorcycle deal just made the drop go worse. Mm-hmm. We had talent on that upcoming team, starting talent, but the recruiting classes wasn't looking good. And he was recruiting too much offense and not enough defense. And so the cupboard was bare on defense. And that's what Chad Morris came into. Okay. Not that Chad Morris was very good or anything. Okay. But I'm just saying the cupboard was bare. Or that's what Bielema came into. Cupboard was bare. Okay. And Bielema wasn't tried to recruit like he did up at Wisconsin. And it didn't work, especially with a bare cupboard like that. So anyway.
But you look at Joe, I always use the example is Joe Adams is going to USC to be a cornerback.
Yeah.
And Petrino put him at wide receiver.
Yeah.
Which Joe Adams, in both of the defenses, that's where Joe wanted to be.
Yeah, yeah.
But now, and I'm not, everybody's like kind of down, like saying recruiting is a little bit down. Like I think high school recruiting is about almost the most important part of this job now.
Yeah.
I think working the portal is so much better. And I think Arkansas Edge was one of the things they did to help.
Mm-hmm.
And so,
well, I believe they picked up a commitment from Parkview the other day, right? And
Parkview's got, and that's another entire Oprah show that we could get into one of these days is about how, we used to, I think it's me and Branscombe more than me and you, but we used to irritate Paul all the times. We'd say John Hutchcraft was the best recruiter in the state of Arkansas.
Mm.
Like every time Greenbrier had a stud basketball player, somehow they would wind up a guy because it's better for their education.
Yeah.
you know, it just, you know, it's like, I got a trailer you can rent here in Guy. You know, what? But anyway, but now that's going on all over the place. Parkview has got 7.
There's 5 that Arkansas's offered.
5 that Arkansas's offered. I think 7 that's got D1 offers.
Yeah.
Or offers.
And they got a commitment, I think, from I think it's the quarterback, but he's an athlete, and he committed over like Alabama and a bunch of other big schools.
Yeah. So you got, I mean, so, you know, but that's going to become, even with, because school of choice is a thing now.
Yeah.
Where you opt out and go to other schools. And like,
we just had the kid from CAC transfer to Conway,
you know, and I didn't see Buck James. Oh, you can't come here.
And it's he's an Arkansas commitment, you know, already. Yeah. So,
but dude, how would you feel if you, like, you know, like in my situation, like I sat behind Jason Hamilton for 2 years, you know, and then it's my turn. I'm the starting left tackle, and then well, here's this guy that's committed to SMU that was at Atkins and said, well, I'd like to play for old Coach Bill Buckner down there in Greenbrier.
Yeah.
And then you come in like, well, what the crap? I guess
I'll transfer. Down here in South Arkansas, the Camden baseball coach had 2 pitchers that colleges were looking at, solid pitchers. And they both transferred, one to Smackover and one to Benton, and to be on better teams. And so that coach went from having a deep pitching lineup to he didn't have much of a pitching lineup. And so, and you know, in high school, you got 2 pitchers like that, man, you can go far, you know.
Yeah.
And that coach ended up, I don't know if he ended up resigning before but I mean, there was a lot of parents that were upset. But one thing he had to do was he took less games this year and played less out of conference games because he didn't have depth of pitching to play as big of a schedule. So he played a smaller schedule, hoping that they would do better and make their conference tournament that way. And they ended up not doing it. But still,
well, you know,
but it was just like you said, just those guys transferring out. If you're not the it coach, then you know you're just left there with your wringing your thumbs.
Yeah. It's a different time, you know. Everything kind of it trickles down.
Yeah,
you know. I mean, you see the kids; they're making posts on Instagram like, "God's plan. I'm transferring. I've chosen to leave Greenbrier, and I entered my name in the high school transfer portal." Or it's not that, but like they just, I mean, they're you're going to see them school of choice and out. You know.
Well, did you hear about the UAPB baseball coach?
I did not.
He resigned, and then he did an interview saying the reason he did was he got tired of trying to compete without having resources. He said it was taking too much time away from his family and everything, and he's kind of reevaluating what he's going to do. He said he didn't know what he's going to do next, but he said it was just too difficult the resources wasn't there, and he just, you know, and I mean, not that they're a juggernaut, but, you know, they're getting to play against Arkansas and some others, you know.
Yeah. No, it's got to be, you know, we had Coach Mullins on here says, look, I'm not going to name their names. And Clint, if you know them, don't say nothing. But I've got so many former players and coaches that worked for me that are completely miserable.
Yeah.
And it's like you said, the baseball coach in Camden, it is not going to get better. It's going to keep happening.
Yeah, for sure.
And then, so anyway.
Well, folks, Clint, I guess that's it, man.
155 in the can, my man.
155 in the can.
Double nickel.
The man leather tan. Folks, like, share, comment. If you need a roof, call Hometown Roofing.
Hometown Roofing. I don't have my phones. I'm recording today. Yeah.
They'll hook you up.
Look, Branson's number. Just Google Robert Branson.
HRroofing.com, I think, is what the website. So
HR Roofer.
HR Roofer, yeah, they're on Facebook.
Hometown Roofing out of Greenbrier.
Yeah.
And you got to do, especially with all these storms that's coming through in this storm season. It's not going to have less storms.
That's right.
So
that's right. My yard's a big mud puddle right now. So, but seriously, folks, like, share, comment, subscribe. Let us know what's your road trip songs, what's your albums, you know, Did you like some of the ones we said? Did you think we're idiots? That's fine. We can take it.
Yeah.
Take it. I ain't scared.
Tom Stark thinks I'm an idiot.
I ain't scared. Ain't no scared of me. Anyway, Clint, man. Grandpa Clark.
Woo!
Happy anniversary.
Thank you.
Congratulations on the. I think you should just be called Big Daddy.
I'm a big daddy.
I got a friend. That's what his grandkids call him, Big Daddy. They just call him.
I think they're going to call me Clint.
Yeah,
so
more than likely. Yeah. Oh well. Just as my grandpa would say, just call me for dinner. Anyway. All right, folks. Hey, have a great week. Go Hogs.
Go Pig.
Be blessed. Oh, yeah.
Sweat, work, filthy, dirt, harvest, hurt, kingdom come. Sweat, work, filthy, dirt, harvest, hurt, kingdom come.
Listen, that's why I sweat when I work. My hands get filthy down in this dirt. Won't see no harvest till I hurt. Crying your kingdom come. Listen, I wake up in the morning, I bow my head to pray. Mama told me if I don't, ain't nothing gonna change. These prayers breaking up hard drive so I can sow the seed. Ain't afraid of no aches and pain. Lord knows I gotta follow his lead. That's why I sweat when I work. My hands get filthy down in this dirt. Won't see no harvest till I hurt. Crying your kingdom come. Oh, I sweat when I work. My hands get filthy down in this dirt. Won't see no harvest till I hurt. Crying your kingdom come.